Pulled the paint right off the ground. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That opened up real nice. Look. All right, I decided to start this journey that me and you are about to take on a fresh house we just purchased. Actually, my wife purchased this house unbeknownst to me, but it doesn't have any curb appeal, really any character, and I like curb appeal and character when they drive by. I just want it to look unique, different, not a square box. But anyhow, this is what we got. A square box. No curb appeal, no character. I mean, it's got a good roof. It's vinyl siding, you know. It's got a few good things about it. But yeah, a long spot where you can really see across the house down the floor and see if it looks like it, you know, has any crazy stuff going on. Really had to get underneath the house and see, you know, check the foundation on a pier and beam. But, you know, if the floor is pretty flat, let it go. If it's got some crazy stuff or you're gonna do some major repairs, it's best to go ahead and jack it up, get it level. You're gonna crack tile. Doors are gonna not shut anymore. You have to readjust them, you know. Sheetrock's gonna crack. There's a lot of stuff that happens when you jack up a house. I'm gonna stick my head underneath here. It's pretty high off the ground. Really, my first mission on this house is to level it. I'm gonna level it and then I'll go from there. All right, down here, this house has 3 main beams. One in the front, one in the middle, which will run down the hallways. That's where your load-bearing wall is gonna be, usually right above that beam. And then I got one behind me. Now, that's where you do pretty much all your leveling. The front is pretty straight. The middle beam, I can see, this camera you probably won't be able to see, but it has a dip. It comes down, it lowers down, and then it curves right back up over there. So it's gonna have to be jacked up. Now, when you jack a house up, especially if they're bad off, you don't want to just go to one cinder block and jack like crazy till it's level, then go to the next one. You need about 3 jacks, and you need to cover 3 sections at a time, if possible. And that way you can kind of raise it all together at the same time, nice and easy. Look at your floor joists. Make sure they're not rotted, you know. Over there by the kitchen, around the bathroom. Look at these, look good. I mean, I was really impressed. I was worried. This one right here on the back, you can see it's got a little bit of rot damage. Actually, the cinder block actually pushing into that rot damage a little bit. It's kind of bad right there. I mean, see, that's what you need to know. See that bad spot? That's pretty bad. That is close to the bathroom, but not really in the bathroom. Usually you see that kind of stuff around the bathroom. Really, that rot kind of travels. That might have been termites. I mean, I don't see no damage up top. But that beam there is not in the best of shape. That being said, if you ever get ready to sell it, or if you're gonna flip this house, that has to be fixed. They'll get right there and wear you out with stuff like that. People will walk quick when the word foundation's mentioned. That's when a buyer walks, and that's when an investor comes running in the door. But you don't have to fix it right now. I mean, it's still solid. You know, it's at least 3/4 or better of that beam left. So it's not going anywhere. But that's your choice. Look at your money. Look at your time. See if you want to fix it now. See if you want to fix it down the line. See if you want to fix it when you get ready to sell it. That's all questions you need to ask yourself. All right, step number 1. And again, you need to ask yourself, there's 2 ways to go about getting this house flat. You can go level or you can go true. I'm going true. True means it goes straight from one side to the other. Level means it goes level with the earth from one side to the other. Now, you can go level. Most likely you'll be jacking up all 4 corners and all the way around the edges. And if it's bad off, yes, go level. This house isn't bad off, so I'm going true. I'm gonna make it straight from one end to the other end. So what I did, I went to one end of the beam, measured down 4.5 inches, put me a screw. At the other end, I went 4.5 inches down, put me a screw. I'm gonna stretch me a string as tight as I can, try to make sure nothing gets in the way of it from that end all the way to this end, tight. And then I'm just gonna jack up the house until the beam is that same distance from that screw to the bottom all the way across, and then I'll be true. String starts out 1 inch from the bottom of the beam at this end and at the other end. Now let's go to the middle and I'll show you how bad. It don't look that bad in the house, but I'll show you how bad it's off. Roughly in the middle, 3 inches. Now I was hitting a wire there, so it may be a little more. A little dusty under here. Now what that tells me is in the center here, I gotta go up 2 inches. So I'm gonna need to jack it up. I really need to find me 2 inches worth of block or board I can stick in there. What I may do is jack these 2 cinder blocks up first. Well, shit. It's 1, 2, 3 sections of beam underneath here. I got 3 jacks set up. One there, and one there. That's the 3 center sections of the house. I'll have to do something there. You can see where the connection is, and down there at that beam. But first I'm gonna get these 3 up. And then when I get them up and braced, I'm gonna move to these, and I'll probably have to jack them up, especially that one because it's got a connection there. I have to jack it up and get that level from that cinder block to that cinder block. It's so much nicer when you have 2 people, one on one jack down at that end, one on one jack at this end. Otherwise, you got to keep moving back and forth. You can't just jack one up where it needs to be and go jack the other one. You got to work the whole thing up together. My damn help didn't show up, so it's just me. But let me tell you something. If you're self-employed, you have to just do it. Don't sit there and wait on somebody. They will put your ass out of business, and they will not give a shit. When you need something done, you just do it. If your help don't show up, you get underneath there and do it. If someone says it'll be until next week, you just go ahead and do it. Get it done. Otherwise, you'll just be standing around waiting with your thumb in your ass. But I learned that long time ago, baby. I might have been in my 20s when I learned that shit. Just do it, man. That's how I learned to do everything I know how to do, just because they wouldn't show up. So I had to do it. It had to get done. So I did it. Okay. Now you see where I'm headed. It's gonna take a bit, so once I start getting it close, I'll fill you back in. Probably about 2 hours into it. I got both the centers. I got 2 inches on that one, 2 inches on the other one. And then this one here, I just put a 1 inch in it, but my string is looking pretty straight. I got that last one way down there. I got to jack up. It's probably gonna need a 1 inch in it. It's been 3 hours later, and I got that center section done. The center section is the hardest section. The back, you'll be outside of the house sticking the jacks or anything. You'll be crawling around the dirt. I'm on the back wall. I got my string ran just like the other one, 1 inch up on the bottom on each side. I'm fixing to check and see. I'm in the center of the house right now. I'm fixing to check and see. It's pretty far off, but let's just see. All right. The string to there. Well, not quite 2 inches. I think the center was actually right at close to 2 inches. It's 3 inches, and plus I got an inch to take off, so got to jack this one up 2 inches in the center, just like I did the other one. If my beam, oh, right there where the stairs is, always where the stairs is, there's a big bad spot right in my beam. Son of a bitch. Huh. All right. Wood and concrete don't go together. You have to separate them, put something in between them. Not only that, but water hits them steps, runs down behind it. The steps probably leaning the wrong way, and rotted out. That beam's got a bad rotted spot. I hope I can jack it up. Hopefully it's got enough meat on it. Remember when I said pick your battles? Look at your funds, look at your time, see what you can do. Some stuff you'll have to kick that can on down the road a little bit. Well, this bottom beam's got some bad stuff in it. So what I'm gonna do, instead of jacking it up, just shimming it, I cut me the true 1x6. This is a deck board, so it's a true 1 inch. And I'm gonna run it from cinder block to cinder block. I had to jack it up by the floor joist so I could have room to slide this in there. But I'm gonna run a true 1x6 cinder block to cinder block to cap all that in and cover it up. I'm gonna have to do 1, 2, 3 sections like that. All right, it's day 2. Day 1 went pretty good. I'm gonna finish it up today. So I ain't got much left to do, but let me show you where I sit. If you remember, the bottom of that 6x6, I guess that was in bad shape. Well, I ran actual one. It's decking board, so it's a full 1 inch decking board, 1x6 from in all the way across, all the way down. I'll screw it up tight against that beam, but all the way down, let me see, down there to the other end. So it has a solid 1x6 on the bottom of that beam all the way across. When I got that in, I have something solid to jack to, and I can just lift it up and level it. I need to go about an inch, probably an inch, probably an inch on each one, to be honest with you. That one is in. And I'd say once it goes down, that's 1 inch. I need 1 inch. Once it goes down, we're gonna be right at it. There you go. All right, she's in there flush. This one here needs to bump out a little bit. All right, that one's in. 3 damn jacks, but she's in. I got one more down there all by its lonesome. I need to jack up. Hopefully it won't be as much a pain in the ass as this last one. Let's see what we got. Let me show you something to watch for. I'm steady jacking it up right here, you know, looking for my string. But look, over, I got the screw there. I don't know if you can see. Look, I done jacked that up. So the more I jack that over there up, The screw is just rising with it. I'll never hit my mark. What you need to know is how far you're off from the point you're leveling. If you're 3/4 of an inch, put your 3/4 inch board in there. And you should, when you let it down, you should be good. Now the other side may not sit flat right off the bat. It may hover a little bit, but it'll settle. It'll settle back down where it needs to go. Probably won't take it maybe a day or two, according to the weather and humidity, really. But it'll settle right back down where it needs to be. But don't be chasing that string, jacking the whole damn house up. Check your mark, measure it. I need 3/4 inch. Put your 3/4 inch in there, let it down. You'll be good. That's it. Now here's the thing. Make sure you get all your wood, even while you're underneath there scooting around. Drag shit out every time you come. But make sure there's no wood under that house. Wood lays on the ground. Termites come to that wood. They start eating on that wood. They're like, hell, we need some more wood. Next thing you know, they're tunneling up through your damn cinder blocks. Make sure you got them shields, metal shields between your cinder block and your house. But what you don't want is anything underneath there laid on the ground that a termite will eat. So drag it all out, clean it all up. Let's walk inside and see how much damage I've done. Well, I mean, that crack wasn't there. You can see where it's kind of pulled. I mean, it's pulled the crown molded away. Oh, look, that crack wasn't there. I mean, you see where it's separated, but the thing is, now, I mean, look, that crack in the ceiling wasn't there. All that crack. I mean, this was the part I was jacking up right here, which that ain't bad, no caulk. But now, I mean, you can't probably tell it, maybe you can, but when I look down that floor, on this side here, it's flat. Oh, look, wow. Pulled the paint right off the ground. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That opened up real nice. Look, wow. All this. Some damage jacking the house up. That's why we've jacked up a few like customer houses, but they freak out when shit goes to splitting and popping. Yeah, it's all the way like, it did it all the way in this other bit. Just pulled the crown shifted. How much money did I spend on it? Right there, that's what I spent. I scraped and scrapped. I even went next door to this old abandoned house. There was 2 cinder blocks. I seen them. I went over and nabbed them. So how much money did I save by doing it myself? Roughly that much right there, or more. Foundation people are not cheap. They're some of the most expensive people out there because they know you don't know, and it's hard work climbing around underneath the house. But that's the name of the game. If you're gonna make it in this industry, you gotta save money. You gotta cut corners, not cut corners dangerously, but cut corners and do the labor yourself. Go around, find used material, find something marked down at Home Depot, but you gotta do it as cheap as possible and make it look as nice as possible. If it looks cheap as possible, you don't get as good of a renter. You want someone that comes in here and says, hell yeah, you know, I'm a good renter and I want this place. And you'll rent it quick and you'll rent it to someone good and they'll pay the rent on time, no problem whatsoever.